Hello my dear students. Welcome again to chapter number 7, that is structural organization in animals. So already we have studied the morphology and anatomy of earthworm, and in today's class we'll start with the morphology and anatomy of the frog. So frog, it belongs to phylum Chordata, class Amphibia, genus Rana and species Tigrina. So scientific name is Rana tigrina. So Rana tigrina, it is the most common species in India. So all these frogs or the amphibians, they are cold-blooded, or also you can call it as piculotherms. They can change their color to hide from their enemies. So by changing their color, they will protect themselves, and this phenomena is called as camouflage. So this protective coloration is called as mimicry. So they are doing the mimicry of that background and protecting themselves. Then during summer season and winter season, they undergo aestivation. Aestivation, it is nothing but it is called as summer sleep. Means during the summer season, they will remain inactive. All their processes are slowed down and they remain inactive. So that is called as summer sleep. And hibernation means winter sleep. During the winter season, they reduce their all activities and they will undergo the sleep for winter season. So aestivation, summer sleep, hibernation, winter sleep. To protect from extreme heat and cold. In the summer, extreme heat will be there, so they can't survive. And in the winter, extreme cold is there. So to avoid this extreme condition, they will undergo the aestivation or hibernation respectively. Now we'll see the morphology of the frog. The skin of frog is always moist. You must have been observed. It is always moist, smooth and slippery. Why? Due to the presence of mucus. So the skin is always moist, smooth and slippery. The color of dorsal side is olive green color with dark irregular spots. You can see in the picture. And ventral side is pale yellow color. Then the frog never drinks water but absorbs it through the skin. The skin is moist always because it is absorbing the water, but never it drinks the water through the mouth. The body is divisible into head and trunk. Neck and tail is absent. Above the mouth, if you see the head region, above the mouth, a pair of nostrils is present. Two hole-like structures will be there. So those are the nostrils. Then eyes are bulged, bigger one, and covered by nictitating membrane. A thin membrane is present on the eyes. Why? It protects them while they are swimming in the water. When they are in the water, to protect them, a membrane is present on the eyes, and that membrane is called as nictitating membrane. Then on either side of eyes, you can see in the diagram behind the eyes, you can see on either side of eyes have a membranous tympanum. Tympanum is nothing but the ear. It is having, the ear is present for the sound sensation. Behind the eyes, a pair of tympanum is present. Then, if you see the forelimbs are having 4 digits, and hind limbs they are having the 5 digits. So, forelimb with 5 digits and hind limbs with 5. Forelimb with 4 digits and hind limb with 5 digits, and which they helps in swimming, walking, leaping means jumping, and burrowing. The hind limbs are larger and muscular than forelimbs. The hind limbs are stronger than the forelimbs. Then the feet have webbed digits that helps in swimming. In between the digits you can see the web is there, web-like structure, net-like structure, which helps in swimming. Then the frogs exhibit sexual dimorphism. Means what? Externally you can make out which is male and female. Sexually male and female is distinguished, so that is called as sexual dimorphism. So male frogs, they have sound producing vocal sac and also a copulatory pad on the first digit of forelimbs, which are absent in females. So in the males, near the mouth, after the mouth you will find the vocal sac, from which it produces the sound. You must have heard the sound of the frogs in the rainy season. So who is making the sound? The males are making the sound. So males, they have the vocal sac, which will be, when the air comes inside, it is bulged like a balloon. So that vocal sac is present in the males, which is absent in the female. Then a copulatory pad, that is called a nuptial pad. It is present on the first digit of the forelimb. On the forelimb, on the first digit, a soft cushion like pad is present, that is called as a copulatory pad, and that is present only in the males, absent in the female. So like this, sexual dimorphism is present in the frogs. So we are finished with the morphology. Now we'll move to the anatomy. In the anatomy, first we are going to study the digestive system of the frog. So digestive system, it is consist of alimentary canal and digestive glands are there. So alimentary canal, it is very short because the frogs are carnivores. Carnivores means what? They are eating the insects or the other animals. So they are carnivores. Hence the length of intestine is reduced. So what is the different parts of alimentary canal? It starts with mouth, which opens into buccal cavity. Buccal cavity opens into pharynx. From pharynx to esophagus, from esophagus to stomach, stomach to intestine, intestine to rectum, and rectum to cloaca. So these are the parts of alimentary canal. Then the accessory organs. The liver. First, the liver. In the diagram, you can see the digestive system, the side by. It starts with esophagus. Clear? Then stomach is there, intestine is there, rectum is there, and cloacal aperture is there. Then in the accessory organs, you can see the liver, the upper parts, the dark brown color, two lobes you can see, those are the liver. The liver secretes the bile that is stored in the gallbladder. You can see near the heart, a yellow color structure is there, that is the gallbladder. So what is the bile is secreted by the liver, it is stored into the gallbladder. Pancreas produces pancreatic juice. Pancreas are present and they secrete the pancreatic juice which contains the digestive enzymes. So liver and pancreas, these are the digestive glands. Liver secretes bile which is stored in gallbladder, and pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. The food is captured by the bilobed tongue. How it captures the food? The tongue is there which is bilobed, divided into two lobes. With the help of that bilobed tongue, it catches the food and takes into the mouth. So dear students, in this diagram, all the systems are there. You can see the digestive system is there, then circulatory system is there, excretory system is also there. Reproductive system we will study later. So this diagram is important one. Digestive system, it is important one. This diagram you have to practice. It will be asked for 5 marks. Okay, now we'll come to the digestion. So how the digestion occurs? By HCl and gastric juices which are secreted from the gastric wall. Gastric wall means wall of the stomach. You can see the stomach is there. The wall of the stomach, it secretes the HCl and gastric juices. With the help of that, the digestion is occurring. Then partially digested food, which is called as the chyme. In the mouth, partially food is digested and that is called as chyme. It is passed from the stomach to the duodenum. Duodenum is the first part of the intestine. Then duodenum, it receives bile and pancreatic juices through a common bile duct. A bile duct is there which is carrying the bile from the liver and pancreatic juice from the pancreas, and that will get mixed now into the food in the first part of intestine, that is duodenum. What this bile is doing? Bile, it emulsifies the fat. Emulsifies means it emulsified means, suppose fat means the oily structures, oily substances. For example, oil is there. If you disturb a drop of oil, a big molecule is converted into the smaller molecule. So converting the bigger molecules into smaller molecules, that is called as emulsification. So that function is done by the bile. Bile emulsifies the fat. Then pancreatic juice, it digests the carbohydrates and the proteins in the food. Then digestion, it gets completed into the intestine. Clear? With the help of this bile and pancreatic juices. Then the finger-like villi and microvilli are present in the intestine which absorbs the digested food. Absorption will take place into the intestine. Then whatever the undigested solid waste is there, it moves into the rectum and passes out through the cloaca. So for removal of the digested waste, it moves into the rectum, that is last part you can see, and then it is thrown out of the body through the cloaca. So this finishes the digestive system. Now we'll move on to the respiratory system. So skin is an aquatic respiratory organ. When the respiration is occurring through the skin, it is called as cutaneous respiration. Clear? So when the frog is present in the water, it is respiring through the skin, through the moist skin. So dissolved oxygen in the water is exchanged through the skin by diffusion. It is not taking the water through the mouth or to the nostrils. The dissolved oxygen, it is diffused through the skin of the frog. So that is called as cutaneous respiration. When it is present on the land, the buccal cavity, the skin and lungs act as the respiratory organ. So all lungs are the main respiratory organs on the land, and this type of respiration is called as pulmonary respiration. So lungs, you can see in the diagram, two elongated pink colored sac-like organs are present in the thorax. Those pink color elongated structures are called as the lungs are present. Okay, so in this diagram here you can see the white color. After the liver, you can see the white color two lobes are there. So usually these are pink in color naturally. So here in the diagram you can see white color. So pink color elongated structures are there. Those are called as the lungs. So how the respiration is taking place on the land? Air, it enters into the nostrils, from the nostrils into the buccal cavity, and from the buccal cavity into the lungs. Clear? Then during aestivation and hibernation, how the gaseous exchange takes place? It takes place through the skin. So hibernation, when they are in the summer sleep, when they are in the winter sleep, that time what happens? Through the skin only the respiration is taking place. Now the next system, that is circulatory system. The circulatory system of frog is well developed and it is closed type. And frogs, they have the lymphatic system also. First, the blood vascular system, it involves heart, blood vessels and blood. Whereas the lymphatic system, it consists of lymph channels and lymph nodes. Circulatory system, it is closed type. If you see the heart, in the diagram you can see the upper part, red color, that is the heart. The heart is three-chambered with two atria and one ventricle. And it is covered by the pericardium. The outer membrane of the heart is called as pericardium. Then a triangular structure called as sinus venosus. It joins the right atrium and it receives blood through the major vein, that is vena cava. So just to remember, the right ventricle, it receives the blood through the vena cava, major vein, that is vena cava. Then ventricle, when the atria receives the blood, it goes to the ventricles. Then the ventricle opens into the sac-like conus arterius on the ventral side of the heart. Then so overall summary, just remember, that is last point. Blood from the heart, it goes into the arteries. Clear? So arteries provides the blood to all the parts of the body. So from arteries it goes to the body parts, and from body parts the deoxygenated blood, it comes to the veins, that is venous system, and that deoxygenated blood and again carried to the heart. Clear? So from heart pure blood goes to the arteries, and from arteries to the body parts, and from the body parts the deoxygenated blood, impure blood, goes to the veins, and again from the veins it comes to the heart for purification. So this is the root of circulatory system. In the frog, the well developed hepatic portal system is present, as well as the renal portal system is present. So hepatic portal system means what? It is the connection between the veins, venous connection between the liver and intestine. Hepatic means liver. Hepato means liver. Hepatic means it is the connection between the liver and intestine. So that system is also present. And one more, that is renal portal system. Renal means what? Connection between kidney. Kidney means renal. It is the connection between kidney and lower parts of the body. So that is hepatic portal system and renal portal system. Both are present in the frogs. Then when we come to the blood, blood is made up of plasma and cells. Which types of cells? RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Whatever the RBCs are there, these are nucleated and contain hemoglobin. Usually the RBCs are without nucleus. In us, in human beings, the RBCs are without nucleus. But here in the frogs, you will see the RBCs are nucleated and contains the hemoglobin. Clear? Then as I told, the frogs, they also have the lymphatic system. So lymph, it lacks few proteins and RBCs. Blood circulation, it is achieved by the pumping action of muscular heart. Heart is muscular. So whatever the circular path is there, how it is taking place? By the pumping of the muscular heart. Blood, what it is carrying? It carries nutrients, gases and water to the respective sites during the circulation. Through this blood system, in that blood, what is present? They are carrying the nutrients, gases, water to the different parts of the body wherever it is necessary. So today we will stop here, dear my students. In today's class, what we have studied? The morphology of the frog, and in anatomy we have completed digestive system, respiratory system and circulatory system. In next class, we will study excretory system, nervous system and the important one, that is reproductive system, male and female reproductive system. Thank you. We will meet in the next lecture.